揮官様、どうぞお召し上がりに。指揮官様、関西機と呼ばれるこの子たちが本当に戦の趨勢を左右する存在になったのですね。
Hello, my name is Cronus Adair, and this is Azure Lane, Rose on the Hightower event. We've got some amazing new ships that have been added to the game. We're going to be checking them out pretty soon. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to check some things out. Unavailable until further reconstruction. The Port Island's main pier. Complete the reconstruction to improve your logistics. Spend. Okay. Okay. Midsummer returns the villa reconstruction. Busy pier, busy shore. The water laps against the newly rebuilt embankments, and the wrecked pier glimmers under the sun. While the pier's gray concrete may feel dull from a distance, up close one can see a handful of cute little shoe prints dotting the still drying paint. On the distant horizon, several ships carrying supplies from the port slowly approach the island. Oh yeah, aren't Shimakaze and some of the others coming to welcome the ships? Let's have a look through the telescope. Through the telescope, I see several ship girls running closely behind each other. A high-octane race begins in front of the transport ships. Hippity-hoppity, I love sprinting so much. Haha, yeah, Was I too fast back there? Can you girls keep up? While speed is important, positioning is the deciding factor in a race. Well, then allow me to demonstrate how technique means nothing when faced with unparalleled speed. Ha ha ha! Times have changed, ladies. I shall set another milestone for speed this new what? Do be careful, Shimakaze. With all due respect, it's your turn to eat my dust. Okay. Looks like they're having fun. Weren't they supposed to help with the cargo, though? Well, in their defense, we finished the first stage of reconstruction. It's fine for the girls to have a bit of fun. As I think to myself, I realize I've wandered down to the bustling shore. Since the plans for the new area aren't set in stone, the girls have spontaneously gathered here to chat with each other. Summer, sea breeze, and a glass full of fruit juice. This is starting to look like a real vacation. Wait a second, something's wrong here, very wrong. Yes, you were supposed to be working. There's a logo with green cat ears printed on the label of the drinks that practically everyone is holding. Commander, help yourself to some cold and refreshing pineapple and coconut water, nya. I knew it. She's lining her pockets again. You're nothing if not a crafty businesswoman. My stall exists to satisfy the people's needs, nya. It's basically a charity, nya. Bullcrap. Commander, have a seat. I made some fresh chips for you. You deserve it for working so hard even now. Wait, where'd my chips go? What happened to them? Seagulls. Oh no, those were the last chips. Belle entrusted them to me. I stop and rush with the girls, enjoying this laid-back atmosphere. You look awfully satisfied. Doesn't it get you fired up to see the pier area restored? And to think it was almost just a pile of rubble before. Memphis presents a drink to me. A bottle of pineapple and coconut water with Akashi's logo on it. No such thing as a free drink, I'm guessing. Correct. This is the world's most valuable drink. It's related to our next reconstruction plan. Drink it, then we can discuss things with peace of mind. Let's take it as a timer and enjoy it. Oh, so now you decided to take it slow? Are you doing this on purpose? Okay, that's enough sitting around. So the next reconstruction plan. I propose that we tackle the residential area next. We can't let everyone live on transport ships or in tents after all. It'll help that vacation mood back if we're able to sleep in the villa, and it'll help motivate people for the rest of the construction. Also, the road from the pier to the villa has been re-cleared for traffic now. Come, let's go examine where we'll be staying. Okay, the villa reconstruction. Hooray! Still can't do the game. When do you let me play the Ship Girl game? Alright. Midsummer returns, the villa reconstruction. Home sweet home. Away from home. After much hard work on everyone's part to secure a place to stay, I can finally get a good night's sleep in a real bedroom. What's more is I even enjoy a hot shower after waking up. This is a pretty ritzy place. Ah, bathtub and hot water. Finally feels like I'm back to civilization. Ahem. Commander, you're on the line. By the way, I agree that bathtubs are among the best inventions in human history. Wrong button. Sorry, we can talk about that later. Now I've compiled a detailed plan for the next area's reconstruction. I can move ahead once you've had a look at it. I presume you haven't had breakfast yet, correct? In that case, should I tell you at the restaurant instead? Sounds good, I'll be there. The scent of food beckons me to the restaurant. This looks more like a cafeteria. Warm sunlight pierces the massive windows, casting a honey color on the oak tables. A breeze from the sea slips past the beige curtains, carrying the appetizing aroma of food even further. Breakfast has become so much more varied since the kitchen was rebuilt. No more having to eat rations for breakfast. Everyone seems to be in good spirits. Looks like they've adapted to the irregularities of this unusual vacation. Commander, over here. Breakfast is ready. Help yourself. I have a status overview of the reconstruction project to report, so just listen while you eat. Will do. Go ahead. As of now, the reconstruction of the residential area of the villa has been completed. Next, we're going to start on the indoor amusement area, which sustained comparatively little damage. Since Akashi's been singing the praise of its amusement facilities, everyone's pretty excited about it. Oh, but first, while the reconstruction remains our focus, by all means, do enjoy the comforts of the residential area before you get back into work mode. The point of this vacation is to rebuild and have fun after all. I ate every bit of my delicious breakfast. It made me admire what a talented chief chef Lung Wu is. My eyes wander and I catch sight of Qian, standing by the kitchen door with a look of yearning on her face. No, you're not going in there, Qian. Oh, what a bummer. Why is it that every time I come to register, the clerks all had developed a stomachache? What's the matter, Qian? Ah, Commander! Well, you see, I heard a cooking competition is being hosted, and I was hoping I could watch the pros work. Unfortunately, there's a sign in the kitchen that reads, Qian, I'm watching you. The handwriting is obviously Lung Wu's. Guess they think you want to do more than just watch. Oh dear, then I'll just have to find another way in. By the way, did you hear, Commander? They're having an interesting exhibit over in the living room. Why, it's incredible how creative kids can be. Probably. Heh, I should be going now. When God closes a door, he opens a window. I will find another way to enter the kitchen as long as I try hard enough. Qian walks away, muttering a motivational speech to herself. I have a bad feeling about this. Then again, I'm sure the organizers have ways to stop her. Anyway, I've got places to be. Better go see what damage the indoor amusement area sustained in the storm. Oh, okay. Cyclers assemble. Come again? Did you call me over just to demonstrate your catchphrase and pose? Nah, not just that. We think we could use someone level-headed and hardworking like you to lead our team to success. So, won't you be our ambassador? Also, any feedback on our pose and catchphrase would be appreciated. This is completely out of left field for me. I don't think you even need a pose and a catchphrase to begin with. You said you were going to exhibit the old things you repurposed, right? Or are you just going to stand in front of the display shelf this whole time? What, is that not allowed? If that's what you want to do, I won't stop you. All I'm saying is, if I'm going to be your ambassador, at least let me see what you've made. No problem. Ping, bring out the one. What is that supposed to be? It's based on an idea my sis had. It's a fully loaded Bazoi maker shaped like a giant panda. A giant panda Bazoi maker. How in the world did you make this? Bazoi maker parts were made from recycled stuff out in the kitchen and the living room. See how it looks like it's holding bamboo in its left hand and a bowl in its right? Well, that bamboo tube is actually used to hold the filling, and the bowl holds the bun wrappers. Then when it eats the filling in the bun wrapper, it starts forming Bazoi inside its tummy. Then those go into a bamboo steamer, and bam, you got the perfect buns. Ding Hai and Ping Hai start the machine, and after which a ding rings out from the giant panda's stomach. There, one serving of piping hot Bazoi. So yummy! We have to be the best recyclers ever. While the idea is a bit eccentric, the end result looks solid. We just nothing beats Bazoi fresh out of the steamer. Ahem. You 96, what have you made? Get ready for this! My piece is a mechanical freaking dragon, made out of parts I collected from old furniture. Yeah, it's pretty big, that's for sure. Heh, and it does more than just look, you know. Got Regenberg to outfit it with all kinds of baller visual effects. Pretty sick, huh? Bet this bad boy by your door, nobody's ever gonna dare break in. This thing's really gonna blow your mind, though. Check out its forearms. Yeah, these little babies are for shaking drinks. Did you say shaking drinks? Sure did. Smoothies, cocktails with coffee, you name it. It'll have it mixed in no time. What do you think? Gotta be an ace among aces when it comes to recycling, right? My first impression of it it's actually used for could not be any more different. Should be fine as an exhibition piece. Let's put it in the living room. Now to make some posters for publicity. Sometime later. Wow! So Z23 and the other girls made all these out of recycled materials? Panda cooking machine? No! Z35, stay back! I sense an evil, heinous presence within the dragon's bod. Ooh, it can make smoothies! Okay. K Catastrophe. I don't know how to pronounce that. It looks like Bazoya to me. Baozoi? I don't know. My bewitching eyes shall cleanse this filth. Oh, make a smoothie for me too. I just want to do the Ship Girl game. How long until I can do that? So good. Watch seconds. Does this have black pepper in it? I want something sweeter. Lacking in presentation, but the flavor gets a pass. I cannot argue it isn't authentic, since the stew is your local dish after all, Liverpool. I know it's steamed meat buns, I just don't know how to pronounce the name for the steamed meat buns. I don't usually make it since I've had so much that I've grown right bored of it. I gave my all for this cooking competition though. Who let Liverpool cook? Despite being one of the judges, quite frankly, I still do not see the point in this competition. Some every girl suggested it. Heard whoever wins gets the honor of being the villa's head chef, and that's why I signed up. Boom, bang. What? What was that? Came from the kitchen. We should take a look. all the seasonings. Seems that a prone alone isn't enough. I'll need to wear sleeve covers as well. Apron. What the heck was that? What are you doing in here? Trying to blow up the kitchen? There's chili sauce covering everything up to the shelves. Are you making some Nauvoo chili sauce based graffiti art? No, we're seriously cooking here. We just made a small mistake. Maggie, are you okay? Stand back, Mitsuki. You wouldn't want to get hit with flying hot oil. Miss Maggie, you just can't drop a still wet fish into hot oil. It'll go everywhere as soon as it hits the pan. Well, I can safely say that I know what score they'll get for this. Hey, they still have a chance. It's rude to both the chef and the food to grade it before it's even plated. Wait, what happened to the pressure cooker? It's pitch black. Who did this? It's been carbonized through and through. I'm afraid it's destined for the rubbish heap. But my stew isn't done. Is there a spare pressure cooker? Sadly, no. Maybe try like another dish? Maybe sushi. I do have rice for sushi, but no fish. I'd never dare use half-fried fish as a topping. I've got loads of sardines left at least. You can use them for your sushi if you want. Oh no, sardine sushi? No. Sardines? Those might just work. What dish will we make, Cheshire? I cannot for the life of me determine what it is you're cooking. Hehehe, come on, it's obvious. I'm making my specialty. The famous dish and all of the royal you're making fish and chips. I see. I truly shouldn't have gotten my... Go Sheffield. A while later, the food was done. The girls decided to start with sardine sushi. Yeah, it works. It would probably taste better if they weren't so cold. Tastes like home. Oh. This sushi has been delicately made and its presentation is excellent. The flavor, on the other hand, it's simply alright. I'm just glad that you like it. Alright, then it's Cheshire's fish and chips next. I don't have high hopes for this, but this flavor isn't what I expected. Sweet fishies. Huh? Sweet? No way. Don't tell me I mixed up the sugar and salt. And these fries so spicy. Spicy? Did I use chili sauce in place of the tomatoes? Why would you use tomato sauce on French fries? Because that's what chips are in Britain. But I'm surprised by how filling this is. I thought it was a snack food. Sweet fish and spicy chips come together well, like they were dipped in a sweet and spicy sauce. This is a surprisingly good combination. I admit I was too quick to judge. You're a more capable cook than I gave you credit for, Cheshire. I am? Really? Really. Now let's announce the results. The winner of this cooking competition is... Hello! No! You're not allowed in the kitchen, Xian. The one who must not be allowed to cook suddenly appears before the girls. Ooh, finally! You're having a cooking competition, right? I'd like to participate. No! Miss Qian? Well, sorry to say, but the competition just wrapped up. Ah, that's fine, though. Even if I can't be the head chef, I'm happy with just getting to share my cooking with all of you. I'll start right. No. No, don't let her into the kitchen. The panel of the participants all rushed forward toward Qian at once. They feared that an unexpected disaster would come out of the kitchen sooner than expected. Okay. Can I play the Ship Girl game already? As the night wears on, I stroll over to the pool. Moonlight caresses the water's surface, lighting up a familiar silhouette. Trafalgar lies face down on a hammock, arms and legs stretched out comfortably. Her eyes calmly turn to me. Okay. Oh, did this freeze up again? Yeah, BlueStacks froze up. Ever since they updated the app I can't seem to get BlueStacks to run reliably.
Azur Lane.
I just want to get to the point where I'm playing the Ship Girl game, though.
どうぞお召し上がりに。
Alright.
新しく届いた茶葉で入れた製茶です。
Alright. Well, I guess we missed that. Collect all records of the residential area. I think I did that, didn't I? Ah, okay. Insufficient materials. What do you mean insufficient materials? Okay, Catastrophe. There's no way to do the Ship Girl game on day one? What the heck? Oh, okay. Insufficient logistics. Oh, I need anchors. And to get anchors... Not this. Need this. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to get back to this. That stinks. Alright. Well, we might as well get to the polls. How'd your polls go this event, Catastrophe? That's not where I wanted to go. Alright, so it started with 50 slots. Got more than enough coin. Portland, Northampton, Chicago. How? How about these polls? Alba, Suffolk, Exeter, California, Suffolk, Nevada. 60 polls for the 3 gotchas. Very reasonable. $4.20. I don't think that's the timer for Lion, though. Norfolk, Tennessee, Northampton, Pensacola, Norfolk, Sussex, Suffolk, Portland.
私はクレオパトラ。偉大なる知恵を受け継いだロイヤルメイドが一人。あなたは私のご主人様？奉仕上手だけでなく、博覧狂気とは私のこと。例えばナイル文化における72種類の接待の仕方とか。ご主人様ならきっとご存知でしょ？
Lion is 620. Interesting. Okay, Cleopatra, Dido class light cruiser. Wonder what personality defects this one has. Sun God's Radiance increases the ship's main gun and torpedo efficiency by 20%. That's good. Ship battle starts, increases crit rate by 8%. That's good. Free chip in the Vanguard. Can stack up to 3 times. That's nice. Every 10 seconds fires a barrage. Shells of this barrage inflict a 50% accuracy debuff for 10 seconds on the enemy's hit. And the torpedoes inflict a 10% speed debuff for 10 seconds on an enemy's hit. That's pretty nice. I like that. That's a good skill. I don't know if the platform's survivable enough to make it useful, but... Guidance of the Stars. Increases ship's evasion by 15%. Well, there we go. Maybe she is. When the battle starts, decreases your fleet's aircraft damage taken by 5%. If there's another Royal Navy ship in your fleet, further decreases aircraft damage taken by 5%. Every 10 seconds, the ship performs a horoscope reading, increasing the firepower or torpedo of your Royal Navy Vanguard ships by 12% for 8 seconds. Then picks a random enemy and decreases that enemy's firepower or torpedo based on which of the above two stats is chosen by 8% for 8 seconds. When this effect activates, if there are 2 or more surface enemies present, the effect activates an additional time. Interesting. So she's a buffer and debuffer. She looks like she'd be useful in 13 and 15. Of course, is she survivable enough for 15? And does she have enough AA for 13? Chocolate Maid acquired. Interesting. Okay, Washington's surprisingly tame on this one. I thought they would be much worse. Moving along. Shropshire. Alright, that's 1 down in 2 10 pulls. $425. Who could that be? Huga. Shropshire. Alba. Huga. Norfolk. Issei. Northampton. Pennsylvania. Shropshire. Prince Adelbert. Okay. Got deck space for 2 more 10 pulls. 410. Interesting timer. Hiroshima. Portland. Pennsylvania. Alba. Suffolk. Northampton. Norfolk. Suffolk. Nevada. Shropshire. Well, now. Not really a great start for the first 40 pulls. Portland. Kent. Huga. Norfolk. Oklahoma. Houston. Oklahoma.
指揮官、ごきげんよう。ロイヤル所属、空母のグロリアスです。ここに来られて光栄です。よろしくお願いします。
Well, there we go. We got Glorious. Glory of Days Bygone. When this ship launches an airstrike for 8 seconds, decreases your Vanguard's damage taken by 15%, increases their damage dealt by 15%. Does not stack with skills, fleet carrier, or air cover. Glorious Forevermore. When the ship launches an airstrike, 70% chance to lose a barrage. When the battle starts, increases the ship's AVI by 15%. If there are 3 ships in your Vanguard, the above airstrike activation is 100%, and the ship accuracy increases by 15%. Accuracy buff, that's not a bad thing. Rosenmark. When the battle starts, the ship in your Vanguard gain the Rosenmark status. Every 15 seconds, another random ship in your main fleet also gains the status. When a ship with a status takes damage equal to or exceeding 1.5% of that ship's max HP, Thorn Reprisal activates, dealing damage equal to 5% of the damage that ship took to the enemy closest to her. Additionally, once per battle, the following effects activate based on the number of Thorn Reprisal activations. Increases ship's damage by 10%, 10, launches airstrike, 20. After the ship launches an airstrike, the next airstrike becomes available immediately. 30, 0 detection gauge. 40, restores HP equal to 8%. Neat. Interesting. Okay, Washington. Lucky few, 0.5%. Yes. Yes, indeed. Bro, where's the UR? Hottest meta. Okay. So far, Washington's been tame. Do I trust them, though? No. Shropshire.
現場警護の位置についた。秩序維持に尽力されたし、こたびの面談に備えて万全の準備をしたとも。はい、自己紹介がまだだったね。警備隊の隊長キャランと。
Honestly, oh, I thought she was done. Honestly, Catastrophe? Last couple times I haven't been able to pull the 0.5 ship, and I think like 3 events ago I had to actually buy the event ship from the shop because she wouldn't drop for me on the map. Alright. So we got the Elite Destroyer. Stop right there. When the battle starts, increase the ship's firepower torpedo and age you by 10%, deploys 3 barricades. Activate up to 12 enemy shells. Okay. So, pretty much uses except for the buff. Dogged Pursuit. Every 15 seconds, 75% chance to fire a barrage. Enemies hit by this barrage take 12% more shelling damage from your Vanguard's DDs and CLs for 5 seconds. If the barrage does not activate, instead performs a sonar scan. This is a neat idea. I don't know if it'll actually be useful, but it's a neat idea. Okay, Washington. Oi, Gov. Under arrest for all the lewd. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that's 50 polls, and we've pretty much got everybody but Lion. Let's clear up some dock space. The skill's good, the ship's stats are not. Yeah, well, Elite Destroyer. What do you expect? Especially Elite Royal Destroyer. Okay, so that cleared up 40 pulls, so we can go to 90. Come on, Lion. Quit lying around. You need to be in my dock. Yuga. Norfolk. Little Renown. Vittorio Veneto. Nevada. Shropshire. California. Alba. Chicago. Deutschland. Kent. Norfolk. Terror. Here we go.
Oh yeah? 新顔は誰かと思ったら我らが指揮官じゃないか。がっかりさせないでくれるといいが。改めてライオンだ。お前とこの母校を守ってあげるとも。
She's got quite the voice, doesn't she? World-gorging lion flame. When this ship fires your main guns, 100% chance to fire a barrage when the battle starts, and every 15 seconds after that, fires a special barrage and inflicts lion flame on all enemies. Enemies infected by lion flame takes damage once every 3 seconds. Damage based on lion's firepower and level. And the enemy sunk while under the effect of lion flame will cause the effect to spread to the nearest enemy. This doesn't say... Oh, wait. Maybe that's the next skill. Here we go. It increases the ship's firepower accuracy by 15%. Accuracy buff. Accuracy buff. Increases ship shelling damage by 8%. Increases damage. Ah, this is it. Yeah. Increases damage dealt to enemies affected by lion flame by 10%. So, between her self buff and this, she basically gives herself the same 18% damage improvement that Vanguard would give her from outside, and they would probably stack. That's pretty nice. And the accuracy, from what I understand, her barrages are HE based, so she ought to be really good at anti-light armor stuff. Increases ship's crit rate, nice, 10%. Crit damage by 20, nice. When a fleet the ship is not in, and it's a cross barrage. Three main gun mounts at 170%, which is huge. Huge, I say. Aegis of the Realm. Increases the ship's evasion by 15%. Decreases the ship's damage taken by 10% for each enemy on the battlefield affected by lion flame. Oh, wait, what? Decreases the ship's damage taken for each enemy on the battlefield affected by lion. Wow. The ship takes damage when this ship would take torpedo damage. Reduces that attack crit rate by 5%. Cap 15 crit damage by 30%. You know, between the way Lion Flame works and this skill, she might be a good option for World 14. Because there's a lot of torpedo damage. She's got a lot of tankiness. And the way Lion Flame works, every time a ship is sunk with that, it spreads to another enemy. That would be really something. Of course, if you use her in the mob fleet, you'll have to give up on using somebody like... why am I blanking on the ship's name? Yamato's sister. Musashi. Yeah, Musashi is a damage sponge. Interesting, though. Okay. What say you, Washington? Someone wishes he was the seat. Yeah, easy game, first 10. Okay. That was Washington. Yeah. Comparison, Musashi's is 155%. That's really nice. Shropshire, Arizona, Shropshire, Alba, Portland. Okay. Let's clear up space. All right. Let's put everybody in the dorm. Let's see, there's only 4 of you. So I can put the 103 girl back. Oleg, where are you? Oh yeah, up top. Doi. And Kazan back in there. Okay. Alright, lions all over the place. Does not like head pats. She's embarrassed. She doesn't like head pats. And you're embarrassed by them. Ooh, look at the ears. That's a nice touch. What the heck are you doing? Okay. Okay, these two have physics. And so does this one, but she's muted. She's kind of happy just chilling there. Yay! Someone does not like being picked up. Oh, and the dance has physics too. Neat. Oh, she likes being in the bath. Yeah, she's fairly content. Oh, look at the stars. I have to say the ears are a very nice effect. Look at the siren going off when I've got her picked up. Interesting. Okay. Cute. Alright, well, I suppose the easiest thing would actually be go through the dorm. I've got them all here.
お前が母校の指導者だと認めているが、その能力まで認めたわけじゃない。ま、お前の頑張り次第になるが。
She's got a very confident
う
voice.
まくやれるかもしれないぞ。これでこの領地とお前をもっとうまく守れる。
Alright, well, we're out of enhancing materials. I'm gonna need to buy an extra one of those. 745536. This annoys me. I have to put in a code for this frickin' specialized boolins. 73697. Alright, let's go buy the last one I need. Oh, and that reminds me I need set skills training. Oh, yeah, it's over here. Prototype. I used to have got enough of these things, specialized core, to buy like a bajillion of the rainbow bullens. And let's get skills training. Not that low. Not that high. There you are. And right around here. There you are, Gallant. Alright, that's skills training. That reminds me, Glorious. You down at the bottom? There you are. Let's do this real quick. Alright, got her her skills going. Nine, two, four. Okay, so that's her fully limit broken.
ご主人様、また新しい占いを学びました。早速。え？ここに占い用の道具はないって？
Okay.
カードでも大丈夫なはず。
Sounds like she's a little scatterbrained.
あら？
Your tan's gotten even prettier, huh? Is that how that works?
あら？
Oops.
ご主人様、また新しい占いを学びました。早速。
I've decided I'm going to get them all to 105 and just use them to grind the event, even though they don't have their skills trained.
カードでも大丈夫なはずですよ。
Alright. Glut.
指揮官は正義の化身だからね。母校警備隊の隊長としてもちろんお守りするよ。ふふん、ほら。
Alright, that's her fully enhanced. Let's go over to Glorious.
母校で一番見晴らしのいい場所はどこでしょうか。少々行ってみたい気分でして。ええ、ただの気分転換なのでご心配なく。
Alright. Let's check out Glorious's voice lines, shall we?
指揮官、今日はいい天気ですね。はい、精を出してお仕事を片付けていきましょう。
Ooh, look at that chibi go. I get the sense quite reserved and stately.
指揮官の入れた紅茶はどことなくインプラカブルさんっぽさが3割ほど。やはりグロリアスがお入れしましょう。
Wait, you're saying my tea's worse than Implacables? Oh, that's horrible.
再びイラストリアスさんと手合わせできれば今度は勝てる自信があります。
Damn, look at her chibi's rigging. That's that thing. That's impressive.
これらのデザートはメイド隊の手作りでしょうか。寸分たがわず記憶にある味。はい、お話し相手なら務めさせていただきます。
Okay. Don't kill me.
指揮官、バラが美しかろう
Oof.
がそのトゲにはお気をつけを。
She was not a fan for that.
ごめんなさい、私またぼーっとしていましたか。
Apparently.
任務報酬が出る上層部というのも悪くありませんね。お疲れ様です。どうぞゆっくりお休みください。指揮官、このメールボックスの使い方は。ごめんなさい、メールを長らく扱ってなかったので少々戸惑ってしまいました。
Yeah, you're not exactly the secretary type, are you?
あ、もう帰還なさったのですか。ごめんなさい、少し考え事を。 お仕事を始めましょう。
Okay, what's she gonna say here?
どうしました指揮官。今呼びました。
Interesting.
こんなに成果で満載の艦隊を目にするのはいつぶりでしょう。
Oof.
指揮官、委託が完了しました。あとは私に任せてください。
It sounds like her reality isn't very well supplied.
勝利をつかみ続けましょう。ロイヤルのグロリアスは敵を見逃さない栄光ある凱旋を。また破れてしまいましたね。栄光よ、永遠に。
Okay.
栄光よ、永遠に。
That could have been delivered with a little more oomph, but I appreciate the brevity.
この痛みもう慣れています。
Okay. Again, reserved and stately.
指揮官、
That's glorious.
ご主人様、また新しい
Alright,
占いを。
let's check you out, Cleopatra.
私はクレオパトラ。
Yep, saw that.
お帰りなさいませ。さっき興味深い現象について考えていました。なぜご主人様の机
Look
は
at the ears
常
of the
に
chibi
左
go.
にずれるのか。きっと何か謎の力が関係しているのでしょう。
She put herself to sleep with hypnosis. Okay.
ご主人様に買って差し上げたアミュレット、正規品のはずなのにメイドイン母校と書いてあって、きっとナイルと母校の間に貿易関係があったに違いありません。
Okay, so she's very gullible.
ご主人様はご存知？私のメイド服は多くの衣装が取り込まれていて、確かなんとか7世のドレスから。
And she's got a bad memory.
名前を忘れちゃいました。占いによると、本日のアフタヌーンティーは博識なロイヤルメイドと一緒に楽しむ方がよろしいかと。そしたら幸運になりますから。母校はなぜこんなにも猫たちが出没するのか説明して差し上げましょう。
I'm sure they are.
実はご主人様、クレオパトラのご奉仕をご所望で。
Okay. It's not a bad maid line. Oh boy, what's this gonna be?
ご主人様、今考え事をしていまして。
Interesting.
確かなでなでは幸運をもたらすって本に
Oh,
書
so
いて
she
あ
likes
ったな。
that.
ご主人様、まだ終わっていない任務がありますよ。私の手伝いは必要ですか？任務報酬があるのですか？
Not very diligent, are you?
新しい情報がありますよ。それにしても金色の羽ペンでパピルスに書いたものじゃないなんて。お帰りなさいませ。ナイル文明で一番人気があったという紅茶でも。あの時代に紅茶なんてなかったって。じゃあ、あの時代の人々は
Oh,
どんなもので水を飲んでいたかご
okay.
存知ですよね。説明して差し上げましょう。知恵者の言葉を聞かない者は砂漠のサボテンになるそうですよ。
Okay.
ご主人様、大事です。委託が完了しました。転速で時間を推定して。携帯でアラームをつけてもいいって。
I was right.
私の計算は間違っ。あら、日焼け跡がもっと艶やかに。適切な航路を占って差し上げましょう。ご主人様と神様のご加護あってのことです。ごめんなさい。ご主人、神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
I like the oomph it's delivered with, but it's too long.
加護を授かった力見 見せて差し上げます。
Yeah, it's too long.
大丈夫。今医術書を
This is a cookbook.
レシピ本と間違えた。
Okay, I dub thee Cleopatra, the scatterbrain maid.
ご主人様、また
Next.
指揮官は正義の化身だからね。母校警備隊の隊長として
Embodiment of
もちろんお守り
justice.
するよ。
Interesting.
おはよう、指揮官。ふむ。扉の前の関係者以外立ち入り禁止の看板、書いてある通りの意味だよ。だって当直以外の子がみんな適当な理由をつけて執務室に入ってくるんだもん。
Aw.
重要な場
Her
所に
dog
好き
ran
勝手
away.
出入りさせちゃダメだよ。
Best reason to come in. Okay.
指揮官、騒音禁止の札を20枚作って執務室に飾りたく。
20 no loud noises signs, huh?
それよりホイッスルを吹く癖をやめるのが先って。
Yeah, blowing your whistle and order don't go hand in hand.
またモガドールたちの指揮官への接近を許した。このままでは危なすぎる。
Oh.
止める方法をひらめいた。
How are you going to keep Mogador and her ilk from coming in and looting me, huh?
指揮官、執務室の入室フローワークを
Flowchart for
申
entry.
請書類を提出させ
Written
て、
past
それ
facial.
から顔認証をして
That's
セキュリティチェックは。
that's a bit
迷う
much,
人に頭を
Gallant.
抱えてるなんて。具合でも悪いの？今薬箱を持ってくる。
Her heart's in the right place.
どうしたの？トラブル？今鍵盤
Trouble.
あいた。白い指が。
And she's klutzy. Okay.
このまま続けるなら、ホイッスルを吹くよ。警報を鳴らしちゃうよ。
She did not like that.
警報器は適当に
Not supposed to pull on your emergency light.
指揮官、早く仕事を始めよう。仕事が全部片付いた。指揮官、疲れたでしょ？キャンプベッドの準備ができてるから横になって寝てよし。
Oh, or Chibi has a pistol.
どうしてそんな
It's this
困った
pistol,
顔を
okay.
してるの？メールシステムにも安全リスクがある気がする。ナヒーモフにネットセキュリティの強化をしてもらって。
Okay.
おかえり指揮官。定期点検にご協力を。
You're doing inspections too?
指揮官がお手本にならずに秩序
Oh
を乱した
no,
ら
we're disturbing
何事も
order.
めちゃくちゃになっちゃうよ。委託組が帰還した。指揮官、ちょっと待ってね。セキュリティチェックを済ませてくるから、その後迎えに来て。
Gotcha.
秩序がよく保たれてるでしょ。落ち着いて、順番通りに撤退して。秩序を守りなさい。
That's not bad. It's delivered with oomph and it's short to the point.
秩序を守りなさい。
I like that.
危険警報が。
Okay. That's
正義
gallant.
の化身だから。
Lion.
お前が母校の指導者だと認めているが、その能力まで認めたわけじゃない。よくぞ戻ってきた。よし、顔を上げろ。ひるむな。我に見られて
Look
も
at her go all over
平然
the
としてい
place.
られる度胸を学んでおくんだな。
So, Catastrophe, what were you saying before about leggy royal girls? Battleships specifically?
今日の予定を作っておいた。まずは書類の整理、それから母校の見回り、警備システムを重点的に点検して、最後は休憩時間はもちろん入れてある。安心しろ。今日は一日中お前のそばにいると思う。
Inspections and security systems. You get along real well with Gallant, don't you?
ライオンの置物。ああ、あれは敵を威服
Oh yeah, she's getting a ring.
別にこの子たちが好きなわけじゃないぞ。母校の見回りは大事だ。小野が領地は隅々まで把握しなければ上手に守れない。
Trafalgar and Cleopatra.
お前のことも把握している。
Honestly, I think Trafalgar's design was my favorite of the whole bunch, art-wise. Although, it is a little bit of a daring outfit, isn't it? Alright, where was I?
ライオンの置物。
Saw that.
見回りは大事だ。己が領地は隅々まで把握
You've
しな
got to know every corner of me.
母校を俯瞰するといい気分になる。
Oh, she'll keep us safe.
高いところが怖いのか？ん？何か言いたいことでもあるのか？ならそのまま口に出せ。回りくどいのは嫌というか。ん？異常でもあったか？
Okay, what's her reaction going to be?
どこまで耐えられるか試しているつもりか？
That was rather neutral.
なかなか大胆だな。それとも媚びを売る気か？まだ任務が終わってないのか？母校を率いる者が任務を放置するのは
I get the sense she puts on a bit of a front.
でも大丈夫だ。
I have to see what her post-oath lines are.
任務が順調にこなせたな。報酬の受け取りを忘れずに覚えておくように。新しいメールがある。脅威がないことを確認済みだ。母校は万事異常なし。つぶさに確認したとも。このライオンがいるうちはいかなる脅威も近づけないだろう。安心して休め。
Only things I hold against Trafalgar are her subpar crossfleet skill and her inability to clothe her lower half. Otherwise, she's great. Yeah, she could use a skirt or something at least.
委託組が戻ってきたな。あの子たちを出迎えるのは我らの務めだ。早く行こう。これでこの領地とお前をもっとうまく守れるとも。
Though it is nice to see a lot of, what the heck's with the tongue? It is nice to see a lot of Azur Lane's destroyers growing up, shall we say.
我が存在で敵を威嚇するといい選択だ。
Enthusiastic.
戦場は荒野。勝者が王になる。勝利とは断りを語っているのだ。次こそ痛い目に合わせてやると。 指揮官、
Oof.
今は引くぞ。手負いのライオンこそ最強と知れ。
Alright, give me a good skill line.
噛みちぎれ。
Oh, I like that.
噛みちぎれ。
That's a great skill line.
噛みちぎれ。
Oh, I'll be able to tell who says that in the combat.
お前が僕の
Very
指導者だ
nice.
と認めているが。
Scream Manager told my artist that her initial design wasn't looted. Yeah, fortunately the game seems to be going in that direction, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to take these four out of the dorm. Put the girls that were in there back in. I'm missing one. Ah, you. And actually, let's keep you two. We'll clear out everybody else. Right down to 105. And Gallant should be in here somewhere. There she is. Let's head up to the Royals. Oh, there's Lion and Cleopatra, and then there's Glorious. Okay, cool. Okay. There's Lion. Let's get Glorious on there. There we go. Cleo, the scatterbrain maid in the CL spot, and Gallant. Oh, we should be up. Up, 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 up. Okay, here's the royals. There you are. Alright, that'll do for now, though let's gear them up.
お前が母校の指導者だと認めているが、
Okay.
その能力まで認めたわけじゃない。ま、お前の頑張り次第になるが、我らはもっとうまくやれるかもしれぬぞ。
Just because it's royal gear. You don't need that. I think she's definitely a candidate for white shell. Although... Huh. I wonder if that would actually be worth it on her. I know it doesn't give as much firepower, more hit. It's only 5 less firepower though. More hit, more crit damage, and she's a lot... I think this might actually be worth it on her. What's your thoughts on that catastrophe, given the way she's designed? Definitely putting an officer's sword on. Okay. Actually, you know what? I probably shouldn't use an AP gun. I think she'll... We'll do that for now. Actually, do one of the plus 13s. There we go. Do that for now. Glorious. Is your first slot a flex slot? It says fighter torpedo. Oh, wait, no. Silly me. Okay, that was dumb. More hits since you can expect to fight high evasion bosses. Yeah. Do I have enough steam catapults? Yeah, we can take that. I'll give you a hunting bow. Okay.
ご主人様、また新しい占いを学びました。早速。
What's your IOA like?
ここに占い用の道具はない。
It's not bad.
カードでも大丈夫なはずですよ。
Where are my single guns? I know I made a bunch. There we go. And she probably doesn't have great torps. I'll just give that. I think I'm done raising hippers, so I can steal that. Okay. Oh, let's give you a crossbow. And Gallant. What's your AOA? Not that impressive. You know, her skills aren't particularly based, and she's got really low firepower. Ew. You did say that her skills were not great. I'll put one of those on her. She doesn't even have torpedo that's very good is the problem. Oh, I think Roomba AA suits you. I'm currently using Fushun. Just finished her though. I think she's gonna do better with more torpedo. Thing is, if I'm gonna depend on her torpedo damage, should I give her a better torpedo? Yeah, not like I'm using that for anything. Almost doubled her torpedo stat with gear. Yeah, that's bad. Nothing really great efficiency, gear efficiency wise either. 140, that's decent for her, but again, firepower's not great. Usual low torpedo for a Dido class. Average slot efficiencies. Yeah, wow, 170. That's gonna hit like a truck. You know. Wait, I'm not using FTG for anything. Let's just give her that. Okay. So. We're going to switch over to something a little different. Yeah, okay, that's enough of you, Maggie. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of character analysis. So Trafalgar. Nothing exceptional HP-wise, nothing except firepower. Very high torpedo. Extremely high AA for a destroyer. Good reload, good evasion, great speed, great accuracy, 77 luck, that's nice. Solid stat line. Nothing special here except for the 2 AA guns. So she'd be great in anything with a lot of anti-air. Skills. Increases a ship's firepower and accuracy by 10%. Accuracy is very nice. Ship fires her main guns. Alternates between her Heroic Will and Fearless Spirit. Red Sword Shockwave. It decreases AA of enemies hit by 2% for 3 seconds, which is negligible, but it helps a little. Fearless Spirit. Blue Shores decreases the speed of enemies hit by 15% for 3 seconds. That is a little more impactful. I'm thinking with the low firepower, 1 main gun, you'd probably put the single rapid fire gun on her. Upon this corpus shell, irradiance adorn. Increases the ship's extremely impressive AA by another 15%. When your flagship performs an arcing main gun attack. so battleships only. Restores 5% of Trafalgar's max HP and creates a luminous domain on the battlefield. Surface enemies present in the domain gain the luminous debuff, decreases their evasion rate by 10%, and decreases their damage dealt Trafalgar by 15% for 10 seconds. So basically, when the flagships salvos her main guns. So that's an extremely nice battleship buffer. Extremely nice. And the Eagle Union fleet could use her if they make Kearsarge the flagship. And probably want to play with the timing on the main gun salvo a little bit, but that shouldn't be too hard. By this power, duty shall be done. Increases the ship's main gun efficiency by 15%. So bring it from 125 to 140. Torpedoes aren't anything special, though. 160 is really nice on the AA guns. Increases your Royal Navy ship's firepower, torpedo, and AVI breach by 10%. That's actually a nice buff, and it doesn't specify that it's Vanguard only, so she potentially buffs both Vanguard and Lion. That's nice. All the ships afloat. When this fleet the ship is not in starts a battle. Increases, by 10%. That's okay. It's not a barrage, but it's only Royal Navy ships. I don't know. Not bad. Red and blue. Nice. And I love her design. Skirt, please. Okay. Let's check out Lion. Yeah, definitely a barrage spammer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap back between Lion and a couple battleships to compare. I'm blanking. Vanguard. Alright, so let's compare her to Vanguard. Neat how they both have similar kind of background design, isn't it? Okay, so compared to Vanguard, she's got less HP, a lot more firepower, a lot less AA. Let's see, reload 181 versus one. Her reload's actually higher than Vanguard. And Vanguard already had a high reload to begin with, so she's, wow. Okay. Interesting. Alright, good night, Catastrophe. 69 accuracy, lower accuracy than Vanguard. That's concerning. Okay. Let's compare her to... Here's Musashi. There we go. Firepower 479 versus 463. That's close enough to be within shouting range. Better AA than Musashi. A lot better reload than Musashi. That actually might be an issue. Movement speed's a lot higher. Interesting. Lower accuracy. Looks 50, so nothing impressive. Yeah, but 170 and the main gun efficiency, that's really nice. Interesting. Now, from what I understand, her barrage is very HE based. So, should be very good against light armor opponents. Alright, glorious. Let's check out her stat line. She's medium armor. That looks average. 402 AVI. It's on the low end of high. Decent AA. Decent reload. Stat line honestly looks average. Fighters, bombers, bombers. So, could potentially be used as a bossing ship with that bomber loadout. Of course, it's only 4 bombers. Interesting. Cleo. And to compare, let's compare her to the initial Dido. So 4109 versus, she's got more HP, 160 versus 161. That's about the same. 185 torpedo, about the same, slightly better. 445 AA, higher AA, 196 reload, same. 115, 114 evasion. More accuracy, worse luck, more Azur. So basically, she beats out Dido's stat line across the board. Interesting. She's a sister of Fiji, so the stat line's going to be depressing. Yeah, nothing impressive there. Very low AA for a light cruiser too. Increases the flawless hunt. Increases the ship's firepower, torpedo, and accuracy by 15% every 15 seconds. Fires a barrage, only with a 70% chance of activating. Sets speed of enemies hit by the arcing shells of the barrage to 0 for half a second, which is about useless. And the battle starts. Marks random enemy. Increases ship's damage dealt against the enemy marked by 10%, 20%, and decreases their damage taken from the enemy by 10%. When the marked enemy is sunk, marks a different enemy and recovers 3% of the ship's max HP. Can happen up to 3 times. Okay. Nothing real special. I like her design. She looks very mischievous with the tongue. We went over her skills, and yet the stat line, well, torpedo's better than what it looked like, but yeah, not anything good across the board. Interesting. Oh well. So, extremely impressed by Trafalgar. She's going to be a very interesting ship. Very useful in battleship comp fleets, and she could even be used in the current meta fleet. The evasion rate debuff would be very good against Hornet meta. And I could use her in the Eagle Union fleet with Kearsarge as the flagship, because Kearsarge would activate this. You know, it doesn't say how long. Wait, no. For 10 seconds, which is a very long time. Yeah, very nice. All right, we're going to change our secretary out to Lion. There you are. Oh, and there's one more thing I need to do. We have a new retrofit, Glowworm, who I have not raised. Though I did lift her skills. So neat, I only have to train the last one. So let's give her her retrofit, given that I got out of this event with plenty of coin. Ooh, she gets main gun +1. I post retrofit. Nice. Art looks a lot better too. Did not get a new voice line. But she's got a new chibi. Chibi looks very nice. Okay. Very good. So that should mean I'm only missing Trafalgar. Which, oh, Trafalgar and Fiji's sister, who can't get yet. Alright, let's do some gameplay. You can sort down to Royal Navy because we're going to be showcasing the new girls. And I'll do my usual babysitters. And in case anyone's wondering, do this cross fleet things. There we go. Let's go. Well, there's Gallant's barriers. Oh, I've got the sound off still. There we go. Okay, the lion going through must be Lion's initial barrage. Which is slightly gaudy, but heck, who cares? Okay, that's the burn happening. That hat of Gallant's makes me think she's wearing a helicopter beanie.
状はこう。
Not going to 3-star this right this second. We'll just zoom right through the stages and get to the EX.
適切な航路を占って差し上げましょう。
I'll 3-star clear off screen.
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
No, the boss is burning, so
噛みちぎれ。
the debuff came across.
戦場はこう。
Let me check something. No. Dash forward. Good. Unique design to the enemies.
秩序を守りなさい。
Although the map icons look like
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し
the
上
World
げます。
Expo event ones. So the storyline's got to be interesting for these.
グリッド霊柩に
戦場はこうや。
Lion's definitely dominating the battlefield.
適切な航路を占って差し上げま
Thus
しょう。
moves the king.
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。 指揮官、ご主人様と神様。
我が存在で敵を威嚇する。
I bet Trafalgar will be a lot more impressive than Gallant once I be able to add her to the fleet.
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。 君はこの
戦場はこうや。 我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
I wonder if the area of the Lion Barrage expands as her skill level improves.
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。 秩序を守りなさい。 あんたが
戦場はこうや。 我
適切なコールを裏取って差し上げましょう。秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった
Oh yeah, looking at Lion
差し上げます。
does get buff her own accuracy by 15%.
こんにちは。
戦場はこう。
Oops.
我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
Oh, 69 times 1.15 brings her to 79.35, which is still under Vanguard.
戦場はこうや。
But maybe it's unfair comparing her to Vanguard.
我が存在で敵を威
What's
嚇する。
Musashi's accuracy?
いい選択だ。
74. So
守りなさい。
she'd be above Musashi. What about Bismarck Zed?
授かった力
75.
見せて差し上げます。
About comparable with Bismarck.
指揮官、秩序がよく保たれて。
Well, that's a bummer that her basic line accuracy is so low.
適切なコールを裏取って差し上げましょう。
Bismarck 448 firepower.
神の加護を授かった力
Ooh, she's got 20 more firepower than Biscuit Zed.
こんにちは。
戦場はこう。
I'll leave the math to the number crunchers and see what they say, but I think the Royal Navy Yellow Shell is actually going to be superior to Connor.
いい選択だ。
Gives her more accuracy and more crit damage, and she's going to crit a lot more and benefit a lot more from the extra crit damage.
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。 秩序を守りなさい。
戦場はこうや。 我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
ちぎれ。
君はこの艦隊
戦場はこう。 我が 存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
Mimic City Cacophony. Interesting. The heck is that thing? Whatever it was ugly. Uh-oh. And I think Blue Stack's locked up again. I don't know what the problem is. I tried uninstalling and reinstalling Azure Lane. The next step would be uninstalling BlueStacks altogether. And seeing if that takes care of it. I don't need to see this. Alright. Okay, at least it cleared that. No, it didn't. Okay, that's weird. Whatever. We're gonna keep going. Actually, hang on. We'll do the babysitting first. Unfortunately, I gotta use a light cruiser, and there's no light cruisers with good cross fleets. You know, mind you, if you're listening, we could use more URCLs. Just saying. Alright, let's flip the Royal Navy filter on. There's Cleo. And where are you? Gallant. Okay. There's the Lion Barrage again. Ooh, and look at those lions' heads come down. Okay, that's not a bad barrage. I think we've actually got ourselves a pretty good mainline damage dealer with Lion. Thing is, she's got a lot more reload than any other battleship, which is going to put her salvos a lot further ahead of the others. Ships by stats.
秩序を守りなさい。
Battleships.
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
She doesn't have the highest reload. That would actually be Daisen. But she's only 10 points reload behind Daisen. And she's up there with Champagne and John Bart.
適切なコールを裏切って差し上げましょう。
She's not that far behind Vanguard, though. It's only 3 points, but still that's going to mean her salvo goes off ahead of Vanguard's unless you put a faster gun on Vanguard. And honestly, Vanguard's mainly there for buffing, not exactly there for her damage output. UVH has a comparable reload, and so does Warspite Retrofit, but no one really uses them in Battleship bossing comps nowadays. UVH's issue is her skill really backs up the other battleship salvo reloads. Yeah, next closest one would be New Jersey, who's 9 points of reload behind her. And again, New Jersey's power crept at this point. Darn it, BlueStacks. Crashing again. I don't like that.
よくぞ戻ってきた。よ
適切なコールを裏切って差し上げます。
Well, the new Lion gun is a little bit faster than the New Jersey gun. So potentially we could put that on Vanguard. New Jersey guns on Lion and maybe Bismarck Zed. And that would mean at least Lion gets Vanguard's buff for her most accurate salvo. Bismarck would be a little bit behind the other two, but I think for a 3 or 4 salvo battle, she won't be that desynced from them. Don't know if I'd want to use Lion with Musashi though, given how much of a difference there is. Well, I'd have to experiment and play around with it. What would be useful is if they put a couple oxes into the game that either sped up or well, I mean, you already have something that speeds up their initial salvo, the fire control radars, but something you could use like the aircraft carriers get to speed up and or slow down loading times. Aircraft carriers get a lot more flexibility in their timings than battleships do. Mainly, you have to switch up their guns.
指揮官。
戦場は荒野。我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
But yeah, Lion actually looks like the first decent damage dealer since Soyuz. I mean, Alsace and Rafalia were okay, but they were honestly kind of average, and it seemed like repetitive follow-ons of Soyuz with slight gimmicky twerks to their kit.
オマハ級
戦場は荒野。
Lion's dependence on crit damage, though, is going to make her extremely RNG.
我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力
噛み
見せて
ちぎれ。
差し上げます。
And I am very much looking forward to Trafalgar.
指揮官。
戦場は荒野。
They've got a few ships in the game that have evasion rate debuff, but they're either very RNG
我が存在で敵を
or out of sync with most battleship comps. Or are on a set timer that doesn't necessarily line up with how battleships work.
見せて差し上げます。
Having it go off on flagship salvo is a lot more reliable and easier to use.
戦場は荒野。
Hopefully the area is nice and wide and consistently hits the target. We'll have to see, because there's no one's going to be getting Trafalgar on day one.
適切なコールを裏切って差し上げましょう。
Can't even, doesn't, it's almost like we can't even play the mini game on day one, which is frustrating.
秩序を守り
Why are sirens coming in and supporting us?
神の
It's a
加護を
train.
授かった力
噛み
見せて
ちぎれ。
差し上げます。
戦場は荒野。
Oh well, we'll find out when we do the story. I'll probably do the story tomorrow.
我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選
I'll
択。
probably start streaming the story a lot earlier tomorrow.
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力
Probably start streaming between 6 and 7 p.m. EST. Depending on how I feel.
秩序を守りなさい。
戦場は荒野。 我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
秩序を守りなさい。
噛み
Fine
ちぎれ。
girls are starting to get a bit banged up.
神の加護を授かった力
There is now less than a 10 level difference between them. Oh, I forgot to include Glorious.
状はこ
That was silly of me. We'll add her to the next one.
適切なコールを裏切って差し上げましょう。大丈夫。今医術書を
Damage reduction and faster wave clears will probably help their survivability. If not, we'll have to put a healer on for the last combat.
神の過去を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
Mimic entity cetacean. Yeah, it looks like a giant squid. And it says it's an aircraft carrier. Okay.
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
噛みちぎれ
実を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ
神の加護を授かった力
噛み
見せて
ちぎれ
差し上げます。
Well, they had to stretch it a little bit for that. Hopefully adding Glorious will help.
戦場はこうよ
There's also a fact that I really haven't enhanced much of them very much. Speaking of
お
which...
前が母校の指導者だと認めこれでこの領地とお前をもっとうまく守れこれでこの領地とお前をもっとうまく守れると
That should help at least a little bit. Glorious. Where art thou, Glorious?
「適切なコールを裏切って差し上げましょう。 秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。 栄光よ永遠に
戦場はこうよ
Of course, the fight didn't last long enough for Glorious to have much of an impact.
我が存在で敵を威嚇するいい選択だ
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。 栄光よ永遠に
戦場はこうよ
適切なコールを裏切って差し上げましょう。永遠に
Okay. Hopefully Glorious will be able to get an airstrike off in this
噛
round.
みちぎれ
神の加護を授かった力
噛みちぎれ
見せて差し上げます。
Not quite.
フォックスハウ
戦場はこうや
適切なコールを裏切って差し上げましょう。
This should last a little bit longer since we're not depending on an elite. Although the mobs appear to be healing, which is not fun.
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。
So far, the initial look at Lion's main gun barrage looks pretty impressive.
あんたが指揮官？
戦場はこうや。我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
What's the heck with all the sirens? I guess we'll find out once we read the story.
見せて差し上げます。
Here comes Airstrike.
秩序を守りなさい。フォックスハウンド。栄光ある凱旋を。
And she did enough damage to take the MVP. Neat.
我が存在で敵を威嚇する。いい選択だ。
秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。栄光よ永遠に。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
栄光よ永遠に。 指揮官さん。
戦場はこう。
There we go.
「適切なコールを裏切って差し上げましょう。
噛みちぎれ。
神の加護を授かった力
噛みちぎれ。
見せて差し上げます。栄光よ永遠に。
Neat flame effect on the ocean. You saw it for a split second after the enemy that was getting affected by it sank.
神の加護を授かった力見せて差し上げます。秩序を守りなさい。
噛みちぎれ。
栄光よ永遠に。
This warped cacophony is so large you don't see the effect on the screen. It's hidden by the avatar.
噛みちぎれ。差し上げます。永遠に。
噛みちぎれ。
大丈夫。
I'd say this definitely went better than the D2 boss. That's probably because of Glorious.
ごきげんよう。
戦場はこうや。勝者が王になる。勝利とは
It's
こだわ
impressive.
りを語っているのだ。
Okay. We unlocked SP. Oh, collect all. No. Wait a minute. No, it's not decreasing my actual coin stockpile. Okay. There, we've unlocked the mini-game. Hooray. Combine ship girls to get as big as you can. Play every day to get great rewards. And this is the main way to earn tokens for Trafalgar. Just gonna go up for each merge you make. Interesting. Okay. Otago, why are you making that face? Uh-oh. Oh, good. You can make a merge. No. That's bad. Not quite. There we go. Perfect. Illustrious. Ah. Oh, come on. Okay. That was amusing. Okay. What I think I'll do is I'll call the stream here. Again, I will plan on streaming the tomorrow where I'll go through the event story. All right. In the meantime, I hope everyone enjoyed this look at the new ships and a little bit of their gameplay and their potential. And if you want, I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you and good night.